Hey, it's Friday and you're watching The Biggest Beauty Project. I'm back this week. Sorry I was gone last week. Last week was a mess. I'm doing a lot better now in life. And of course I'm going to be here this week because this is my topic. And this is a topic that I originally planned to talk about on a free week one time. But then I thought it might be interesting to see what other people had to say about this. So we're talking about things that you were told like when you were a child or when you were in school, maybe like in college or something, about the real world or adult life that you have not found to be true. Thought of a few big ones that I really wanted to mention. Like I remember when I was in college, my school never closed like for snow days. But the reason that the teachers always gave that we never got snow days was that you don't get snow days in your job, is what they always said. And I have not found that to be true. Obviously, I got some snow days in my job, what I consider like my big kid job. And yeah, there are people who don't really get snow days, like people who live in the north or in, other climates where they're used to colder weather and, more severe weather and stuff. Also, people who work in the service industry, like if you work in a store or a restaurant, if they're open, someone has to be there working. Another one I love, which I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this, I remember especially when I was in high school, when I was in math class, because I'm not a math person, not my strong suit. And sometimes they would make us learn how to do the things that we were learning without calculators. And we would always say, why do we need to know how to do this without a calculator? And the teacher would always say, because you're not going to have a calculator on you all the time in your daily life. And they'd give examples of maybe you're in the store and you need to figure out how much something costs and you need to do this and this, and you won't have your calculator on you. And of course now, as an adult, I have my iPhone with me constantly. I really just kind of want to show you my cute Vera Bradley phone case that I love. And I have a calculator app on my phone, so if I'm in a store and need to do math and figure out how much something costs, I can do that. Turn it sideways and I have a scientific calculator. Like, I mean, what more could you want? And then the only time I really don't have my phone on me all the time would be at work. And, luckily in my job, I don't have to do much math. Or if I do, it's like an Excel sheet or it's, some kind of calculation on a website that'll do it for me, which is great. But if I ever need to do some quick math, I, of course, have a calculator on my work PC, and I can just, pull that up, do some math, don't need to know hardly any math skills. And I totally get that in order to be a functional member of society, it is important to know basic math. It really makes me wonder what teachers say nowadays when they get that question. And the last thing I want to talk about was before I was going into college, I was advised to pick a really narrow field of study, pick something really specific so that I'd be able to get a job once I graduated. Of course, everyone knows how this went. That didn't work out for me, and I don't think that was good advice. I think like John Green did a video where he talked about like what you should study, how you should study, and things like that, and he talked about studying broadly. And I think that's a much better thing to tell people because, yeah, it seems like, okay, you study the specific skill and then you can do that specific job and that'll, get you a job for something that people are going to need always, which mine was speech therapy. But if you're on a narrow path and you fall off, get knocked off, get lost, whatever, then you don't have as much of an opportunity to get back on. If you're on a wider path, then that'll open so many more doors for you. And yeah, you might veer off a little bit, but it'll be so much easier to get back on track with your life or to find something that you want to do. It'll be much better to pick a wider field of study. And I really wish I would have studied something like business or something more general. And yeah, I could have narrowed that down later. I could have even, if I would have studied business, I could have found something I was really interested in, done a master's in that, and, been on my way from there. Which, and I say this now, looking back, that's what I would have done, but I'm a totally different person than I was at 18 when I went to college. So then I don't think I would have had the drive to really do something like that, which obviously I could have changed my major at any time. I just didn't because I thought that's what I wanted to do. So that's all for my topic this week. Like I said, I'm doing a lot better. I have a lot of adult things that I'm doing coming up, which sounds nasty, but not that kind of adult. I have an interview next week. I have an interview on Wednesday. I am really excited about it. It's actually in the same building where I work now. It's just a different floor, so it won't be hard to get a little bit of time during the day to go to that interview. I'm really excited about that. Also, today's Good Friday, and I never know whether to say Happy Good Friday because it's not really a happy occasion because Jesus died, but it is because Jesus died for our sins and blah blah blah. And I'm a Christian, so it's a good thing. I really hope everyone has a happy Easter, and if you don't celebrate Easter, I hope you have a great weekend anyway. So I hope everyone is doing really well. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all soon. Bye.